Learning this hover effect has got to be the biggest no-brainer. It's not very flashy, but that's why it's so powerful. Design trends, they're going to come and they're going to go real quick, meaning trendy sites become outdated sites very fast. This effect is safe. It's pretty much timeless, so it's worth knowing how to do it. So let me show you how it's done. So let's start by making a really simple card, just an image and some text underneath it. I'll start by hitting F on the keyboard to use the frame tool, and then I'll just draw a nice looking rectangle. Actually, it doesn't have to look nice at all because I can tweak the width and the height over here like so. I'm also going to lock the aspect ratio like this, just to make sure that no matter how wide the screen gets, the image always stays this shape. Now, the only thing that this image is missing is an image. So go over to the Styles section of the Properties panel and click Image. There are several ways to add an image, but I'm just going to paste one in from my clipboard. Then we'll add some text by hitting T on our keyboard to use the text tool and clicking underneath the image. Then I'm just going to type card text. We're going to change this later, by the way. Let's select both the text and the image, and then we're just going to wrap it in a stack. Make sure the width is set to fixed, the height is set to fit, distribute is set to start, and we'll align it to the left as well. This is where you can go and tweak any other settings that you want to make it look a little bit different, like padding, gap, color, these things. We'll also make sure that we have the width of the image set to fill. Now we're going to select the parent layer again and turn it into a component so that we can add the hover effect. I'm just going to name it card. You can name it whatever. It's, well, the world is your oyster. It's your call. Now we have our component. So with the card selected, we can click the button below it and select hover to create a hover state. Select the image in the hover state, go over to the Properties panel, click Transforms, and then Scale. Now we can change the scale of the image and make it larger. So I'll increase mine by 0.1. If we go ahead and preview, we can see that it's kind of there, but it definitely looks wrong. The image is bigger, but it's overlapping the text and it just doesn't look very good. We need to contain it so that the image gets bigger, but it stays the same width and height. So to do that, we select the image in the default state and we'll wrap it in a stack. The most important part of this entire effect is to make sure that the overflow is set to clip. Hidden works too, but clip does the job just fine. I'll name this layer image wrapper. Now when we preview the component, it works. This is good. It could look a little nicer though. So I'm going to add a little polish. With the image wrapper selected, we'll add a radius of 10, then a border. And I'll make it white with 5% opacity. If you want to get creative and add anything else, which I totally recommend, just make sure that you add it to the image wrapper and not the image itself. Otherwise, it might disappear when it goes into the hover state. I'm also going to make the text in the hover state go white. And then lastly, I think that a slow transition would look really good. Something like this. Go ahead and check the preview. Yeah, that looks really good. I think it would actually look better if it didn't zoom in as much. So I'm going to switch it to 1.05. Yeah, that's better. Now, this is meant to be a card component that we're going to be reusing. So let's make sure it's actually reusable. We'll turn the image into a variable like so. We'll do the same with the text. And then I'm going to add a link variable to the parent layer. Now we can go back, we'll go home, drag it into this grid that I set up. And there you have it. A quick, easy, and versatile hover effect that you can apply to any image or card on just about any style of website. I'm serious, it's powerful, so use it wisely. I'll see you in the next one.